The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Let the bill be read a second time.
The Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 39 of 2025.
Committee stage to be taken when? Committee stage to be taken now.
Clause 1, short title, any debate and objection. Clause 1 is agreed to. Clause 2, appropriation, any debate and objection. To any debate and objection. Schedule on page 4 is agreed to. Schedule on page 5, any debate and objection. Schedule on page 5 is agreed to. Schedule on page 6, any debate and objection. Schedule on page 6 is agreed to. Schedule on page 7, any debate and objection. Schedule on page 7 is agreed to. Schedule on page 8, any debate and objection. Schedule on page 8 is agreed to. Schedule on page 9, any debate and objection. Schedule on page 9 is agreed to. Schedule on page 10, any debate and objection. Schedule on page 10 is agreed to. Schedule on page 11, any debate and objection. Schedule on page 11 is agreed to. Schedule on page 12, any debate and objection. Schedule on page 12 is agreed to. Long title, any debate and objection. Long title is agreed to. The bill will be reported to the House as having passed through the committee without amendments. Madam, I have that the Committee of the Whole House has gone through the Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 39 of 2025 amendments.
Thank you. Third reading of the Honorable
The third
is that the bill be now read the third time. Any debate? Any objection? The question is agreed to. Let the bill be read the third time.
The Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 39 of 2025.
Next order.
Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025, second reading.
The Honorable Justice.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill now be read for the second time.
That the bill be now read a second time. Any debate? The Honorable Minister of Justice.
Madam Speaker, I wish to thank your Parliamentary Select Committee and your staff for the job well done in receiving various stakeholder submissions from the people of the Republic of Zambia. Madam Speaker, and indeed to the public, the Constitution Amendment Bill number 7 of 2025 is not merely a legal document, it is a covenant with the people of Zambia. It is about inclusion, fairness, representation, and strengthening of our democracy so that every Zambian can see themselves reflected in the governance of our great republic, the Republic of Zambia.
So, sorry, Order, Honorable Ministers. I think that will come later. Let's look at the principles. Object the principle.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Noted. The object of the bill is to amend the Constitution of Zambia as to revise the composition of the National Assembly to provide for the increase in the number of constitution-based seats from 156 to 211, to actualize the delimitation report by the Electoral Commission. B, revise the electoral system for the constitution, for the election, to provide for a mixed member proportional representation of women, youth, and persons with disability. C, revise the provision relating to filling in of fresh nomination on resignation of a candidate. D, revise the provision relating to by-elections. E, revise the number of nominated members of Parliament. F, harmonize the name of Parliament and Council to achieve 10. G, provide for a vacancy in the office of the Minister and the provincial ministers 90 days of general election. H, remove the 2-term limit for office for and council chairpersons. I, revise the composition of the council to include members of Parliament holding constitutional-based seats. And J, revise the qualifications for appointing to the office of Secretary to Cabinet. K, provide for the Attorney General and Solicitor General to continue in office after a general election until new office bearers are appointed. L, revise the definition of the child and adult. M, provide the period within which an election petition shall be concluded, and provide for the matters connected with or incidental to the foregoing. Madam Speaker, I submit.
Any further debate? The chairperson of the committee appointed to scrutinize the Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill number, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025, the Honorable Member for Nalolo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I have the honor to present the report of the Select Committee appointed on Wednesday, 25th June 2025, to scrutinize the Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025. Madam Speaker, the committee held a total of 12 meetings and considered written submissions from over 40 stakeholders, some of whom also appeared before it to make oral submissions. The stakeholders include government and quasi-government institutions, civil society organizations, faith-based organizations, professional associations, academia, political parties, members of parliament, and members of the public. The committee also interacted with a technical committee that the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, to consult the people of Zambia on the Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill, National Assembly, Bill number 7 of 2025. Madam Speaker, allow me to provide a brief background to the process and events leading to the presentation of Bill 7 to the National Assembly and its subsequent consideration by the committee. As the House may be aware, the Constitution of Zambia, Chapter 1 of the Laws of Zambia, was amended in 2016. Following the 2016 amendments, a number of stakeholders identified several provisions that required refinement and a number of ambiguities that needed to be clarified to ensure that the Constitution fully reflects the aspiration of the people of Zambia and remains relevant over time. The identified provisions, to a great extent, aligned with the findings of the Mvunga Constitutional Review Commission, 1991, Mungomba Constitutional Review Commission, 2005, the National Constitutional Conference, 2005, and the Technical Committee on the Drafting of the Constitution, 2012. These reports recommended, among other things, the delimitation of constituencies, the introduction of an electoral system which guarantees the representation of women, youth, and people with disabilities in the National Assembly. Madam Speaker, the revisions of elections and the hearing and the determination of election petitions. Madam Speaker, on 19th July 2004, the Electoral Reform Technical Committee was constituted to collect public views on strengthening the electoral system. The committee's report emphasized the need to review the Constitution to provide for constituency delimitation, revise provisions on by-elections, and guarantee the representation of women, youth, and persons with disabilities in the National Assembly. Madam Speaker, it is against this background that the Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025 was drafted and published in the Government Gazette of 23rd May 2025 in compliance with Article 17 of the Constitution, which requires a bill that seeks to amend the Constitution to be published in the Gazette for 30 days before it can be introduced in the National Assembly for first reading. The bill was introduced for first reading in the National Assembly on 25th June 2025. Madam Speaker, the House may further recall that on 26th June 2025, the bill was deferred for consideration to a later date to accommodate wider consultations. Consequently, on October 2025, the President appointed a technical committee to consult the general public and draft amendments to the Constitution. Madam Speaker, the draft amendments to the Constitution pursuant to Article 92(1)(f) and 92(2)(j) of the Constitution. As earlier noted, the report of the technical committee encompassing the views of the Zambian people was published and recommendations were presented to the National Assembly through your committee. Madam Speaker, in view of the above background, I from the outset that most of the stakeholders who appeared before the committee of Bill 7. Although in some instances they proposed amendments, the stakeholders noted that the bill will enhance application of the provisions of the Constitution. It is also worth mentioning, Madam Speaker, that a few stakeholders did not support Bill 7 and called for its withdrawal, citing lack of broad consultation in the constitution-making process. The stakeholders indicated that wide consultation was cardinal if the Constitution was to stand the test of time. Madam Speaker, having carefully analyzed the bill and the submissions from the stakeholders, the committee is satisfied that the bill adequately addresses some of the existing constitutional gaps and according to support it. Madam Speaker, supporting the bill, the made a number of observations and recommendations which are highlighted in its report, which is before this August House and in the public domain. In this regard, allow me, Madam, to briefly highlight some of the observations and recommendations. Clause 2 of the bill seeks to amend Article 47 of the Constitution. While the committee supports the amendment, it observes that the provision lacks clarity on the mechanisms that will be implemented to ensure equitable representation. The enforcement mechanisms for political parties to nominate women, youth, and people with disabilities for both constituency and proportional representative seats should be clearly outlined in an Act of Parliament. Clause 2, Clause 3 seeks to amend Article 51 of the Constitution. The committee expresses concern on the infringes on the rights as independent candidates if they are not adopted by their political parties. In this regard, the committee 3 be deleted. Clause 7 seeks to amend with regards to, among other amendments, the election and composition of the National Assembly. The committee supports the proposal to increase the number of elective seats and the inclusion of women, youth, and persons through mixed member proportional representation system. In supporting this proposal, the committee recommends that a new clause should be inserted to amend Article 68 to provide for mechanisms for the nomination of the marginalized groups. Clause 9 seeks to amend Article 72 with regards to, among other amendments, the vacation of office of the Member of Parliament. The committee notes that the bill is proposing that political parties should replace members of Parliament when one of their members vacates his or her seat. Madam Speaker, this provision entails that there will be no holding of a by-election. While the committee recognizes that this measure may remove the costs that are associated with by-elections, the committee also recognizes this will weaken the direct link between voters and their representatives. In view of this, Madam Speaker, the committee recommends that status quo in the Constitution should be maintained, as by-elections are a legitimate way of having the people's representative in the National Assembly. Clause 16 seeks to amend Article 153 in order to introduce members of Parliament in the councils. Madam Speaker, the committee strongly and earnestly supports this amendment in view of the fact that members of Parliament are the legitimate representatives of the people and have a fundamental role to play in the development process. Therefore, having them in the local councils will enhance service delivery. As earlier stated, Madam Speaker, I have only highlighted some of the committee's recommendations, and I urge all honorable members to closely study the committee report and to support the bill that is before this House today. In conclusion, the committee, Madam Speaker, expresses its profound gratitude to you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity to scrutinize the Constitutional Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025. The committee also wishes to sincerely thank all the stakeholders for their oral and written submissions on the bill. The committee further thanks the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly for the services rendered to it during the consideration of this very important bill. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. Any further debate? The Leader of Opposition?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker.
Order, honorable members, let's maintain some silence.
From the onset, Madam Speaker, I rarely debate, Madam Speaker. But when you have such kind of progressive programs in the country, you need to add a word. From the onset, as leader of opposition in this great Republic of Zambia, Madam Speaker, and the PF leader, I want to, Madam Speaker, to encourage my fellow members of Parliament, especially from the Patriotic Front, that no one should intimidate you, because you have a duty. And the duty that we have, Madam Speaker, is that we were voted by the people to come to this Parliament and make laws. And therefore, Madam Speaker, it's very disheartening to see that amongst ourselves, we are able to criticize ourselves that this is not a people-driven constitution. I don't know whether, Madam Speaker, an animal-driven. We all have people-driven constitution. Everyone will hear your members, Madam Speaker. We were voted for by the people. Therefore, we are representing the over 20 million plus people. Therefore, this House will have the mandate to make sure that we make progressive laws. Madam Speaker, I have heard and we have read a lot of debates from different stakeholders in the country. Yes, we agree, but there have never been serious content. The content to outline that this bill is a flout. Not at all. Madam Speaker, I know usually when people are making comments and rantings, they need to listen to quality. And the quality we are talking about is the duty of us members of Parliament. When issues are put on the table, we need to handle them. And Madam Speaker, we feed the food that is on the table, not the food that is the bush. What I mean, Madam Speaker, is that this bill has to be debated on the floor of the House, not in the social media. Madam Speaker,
Order, honorable
read
members. Order. Honorable members, if you want to debate, indicate you'll be given an opportunity. Do not debate while seated. I can see honorable members who are debating while seated. Please, let's restrain ourselves. May the leader of opposition continue.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Some of the people that are talking the loudest, they know that I read and research. But I want to leave to other colleagues of mine, the members, who will be able to articulate and go into details. But as leader of opposition, my role is to make sure that I give guidance to the opposition, that this bill must be supported without fear nor favor. Those people that were intimidating the members out there, that you will be expelled out after this if you vote for this bill, I'm the only one who can expel people. I am the only one who can expel people. You are very safe, honorable members. You were sent here to represent the masses of the people. And when we look at Madam Speaker,
Order, honorable members, please. Let's order. Honorable members. Let's restrain ourselves. And honorable members, my desire is that the debate flows. If we have any responses or any issues, let's put them down, take a note, and when you are given an opportunity to debate, you'll be able to bring out those issues. Let's not interrupt the proceedings or the debate, so that we know, and the people of Zambia get to know what is being said or debated on the floor of the House. Correct. So there will be no orders of, there will be no points of order. I will be able to guide myself. I'm alert and I'm listening to every debate. If something is said which is unparliamentary, the honorable member will be told to withdraw and use a proper language. May the honorable leader of opposition continue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I don't know why whenever I'm talking, people becomes very agitative. Unfortunately, life is like this. Even in heaven, life was not fair. And even on earth, life might not be fair. Madam Speaker, I need to continue. I'm not going to listen to people that will distract me. We have the duty, Madam Speaker. Why I'm supporting the bill? I don't want to go too much into details because I want to leave to my other members to debate. Because the sponsor of this bill has listened. Consultations were made. Everything was done. Did we want to, the sponsors to start cutting their legs so that we understand very well? No. We have a duty. The sponsor has listened. Yes. And those concerns, your committee, Madam Speaker, has outlined the concerns. Yeah. And that's why we are saying we need to support this bill. Yeah. Madam Speaker, in Mafinga, Chama South, Mitete, Kasempa, Katombora, these constituencies, Madam Speaker, are too vast. So any well-meaning member of parliament must support such kind of progressive bills, including Chirui, Madam Speaker, so that they can separate from the water and the land, so that my fellow member is safe, Madam Speaker. So what we are trying to say, Madam Speaker, if we look at the representation of women, youth, and people with disabilities, really you want to deprive those because of our selfish interest? No. Because of our persona and character assassination? No. No. We have a duty, and that duty is to protect every single Zambian and the people that voted for us. Quality. Madam Speaker, Mafinga is 4,112 square kilometers in a difficult terrain, and my people wants it to be cut Because it's too fast. When I go to the south, the north won't know that I'm in the constituency. When I go to the north, the other side won't know. Madam Speaker, this is a very progressive. In adding my words, please, those who are not supporting the bill, we appreciate everyone has got his own choice. However, honorable members, from your left, Madam Speaker, the PF, we are making sure that this bill today, it goes through without fear nor favor. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. Order, honorable members. Order, let's make progress. There are so many honorable members that have indicated to debate, and I'll try to balance the debate as we do that. I will call on the honorable member for Kamfisa.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to make a few comments on the report of your committee. Madam Speaker, even as I make these submissions, I want to be put on record, Madam Speaker, that a constitutional making process should attempt to unite the country.
Correct.
And Madam Speaker, I'm starting from that perspective because we are not the last members of parliament to save this nation. We are going to have future generations, and one of the principles, Madam Speaker, we have adopted, we have an issue that requires people to bring their divergent views in one place, Madam Speaker. It's imperative that we recognize that the constitution-making process is not about us who are seated here today. It is the people's document, Madam Speaker, and because it is the people's document, it is always important, Madam Speaker.
We represent them. Don't we represent them?
Order, honorable members. Order. Order, honorable members. Let's allow the honorable member. Order. 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 Honorable member for Kamfisa. Order.
Can I
Order, honorable members. My appeal to all of you is let's allow the honorable member for Kamfisa to bring out his own views. So, if, like I said, guided earlier, if we have anything to counter what each honorable member says, let's make a note, and when we are given an opportunity to debate, we'll bring out those issues. May the honorable member for Kamfisa continue.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I was setting the tone for my submission, and my submission is about the report of your committee. And Madam Speaker, I was basically stating that we have an opportunity every time we are given this mandate to ask ourselves, how do we ensure that different divergent views, Madam Speaker, are brought on board so that we come up with one uniform position. And that is the spirit, Madam Speaker, of my submission this morning. Madam Speaker, the report of the committee has highlighted on clause 3. And I want to indicate, Madam Speaker, that I had the privilege of appearing before the committee that is scrutinizing this document. If I wanted, Madam Speaker, I would have stayed away from submitting on things that I thought were very critical to the people of Zambia. I took the liberty, Madam Speaker, to go and present. And these are some of the things, Madam Speaker, that I highlighted, and some of them, Madam Speaker, are appearing as submissions from stakeholders. The reason, Madam Speaker, I'm starting from that perspective, is because this is not the process that will demand that we all participate. And people have to allow people with divergent views to be able to present them, Madam Speaker. Clause 3. Clause 3 in the bill, Madam Speaker, as highlighted by the report, is indicating, is proposing that a member of a political party who wishes to contest, Madam Speaker, a general election and decides to contest as an independent candidate should participate after resigning 2 months prior to nomination. Madam Speaker, according to the report of the committee, the committee is recommending that this clause, and this was one of my submissions, Madam Speaker, one of my submissions was that we need to delete clause 3, in Bill 7. Madam Speaker, if the conversation had taken place where everyone was brought on board in terms of agreeing on the roadmap, in terms of agreeing on the detail, Madam Speaker, these are provisions that in the first place should not have even been in Bill 7. Submission number 2, Madam Speaker. Object A of the memorandum of Bill 7, which the Honorable Minister of Justice read out. Object A, Madam Speaker, talks about amending Article 68 to revise the composition of National Assembly to actualize the delimitation report of the Electoral Commission of Zambia. That is what Object A is suggesting. The members who appeared before the committee did acknowledge that one of the ingredients of this discussion is the delimitation report, Madam Speaker. According to ECZ, Madam Speaker, there's a 2019 report and there's a 2025 revised report. That was the submission of the Electoral Commission of Zambia. What people have been asking, Madam Speaker, is nothing complicated. What people have been asking is, can we have the revised 2025 delimitation report made public? Difficult, Madam Speaker, for the people to ask. I don't think so.
But it is okay with you. Water. Water.
Clause 9, Madam Speaker. Clause 9 of the bill, Madam Speaker, is proposing
Honorable Hussein.
that the mandate of the Constitutional Court is taken away from them in declaring a seat vacant. Article 72H, Madam Speaker, provides that a person shall be disqualified as a result of the decision of the Constitutional Court. As a responsible member of Parliament, Madam Speaker, I went to that you appointed, and I told the committee, we can't have a provision that takes away the mandate of the Constitutional Court. And Madam Speaker, according to the report of the committee, the report is indicating that they recognize that stakeholders are not in agreement with Clause 9 of Bill 7. This is the type of productive engagement that should have actually taken place, Madam Speaker, because concerns have to be raised by the people. And I did my part, Madam Speaker. I appeared before the committee and I submitted that we can't take away the mandate of the Constitutional Court, Madam Speaker.
What are you saying?
Clause 16.
What is the point?
Clause 16 in Bill 7. Clause 16 in Bill 7, Madam Speaker, there's a proposal that members of Parliament should be part of the local municipality. The recommendation from the committee is that these shall retain their role in the council as ex-officials. That is what the committee is recommending. Now, there are two types of ex-officials, Madam Speaker. There are ex-officials that sit in the council with voting rights, and there are ex-officials that sit in the local authority without voting rights. Two different things. The report hasn't stated what role will the members of Parliament play in the council as ex-officials.
Question.
This is a very important observation, Madam Speaker. The system prior to 2016, Madam Speaker, provided for this provision, where members of Parliament were part of the council. I submitted, Madam Speaker, before the committee, I submitted that is it possible, Madam Speaker, that members of Parliament who are actually in the two accountability committees, there's a committee on local governance, which I'm privileged to be a member of, and there's a committee, Madam Speaker, on local government accounts. We hold accountable councils on how they are spending our money and how they are discharging their mandate. My submission, Madam Speaker, is that if we are responsible for holding councils' accountability, we should not have voting rights in the council as ex-officials, because we have a duty to summon these councils to come and hold them accountable on how they are using public funds. Madam Speaker, due to the limitation of time, the last item, Madam Speaker, clause 17.
Order.
Can I proceed?
Order.
Well, quickly wind up, honorable member. That's why when we start, we should go straight to the body of than
8 minutes
opening
is not
remarks
enough.
which are too long. You can wind up a few minutes winding up.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. As I wind up, I want to give the summary of my submission. The summary of my submission, Madam Speaker, is that today we are privileged to be members of Parliament.
And you support.
Our responsibility, Madam Speaker, is to learn lessons from processes and from systems that occur. There's been concerns around this process. For future purposes, Madam Speaker, we have a duty to ensure that we comply with ensuring that every stakeholder is given the opportunity to submit to a process. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Order, honorable members. Let's not impose on anyone. Order, honorable members. There is a suggestion that in order to allow the flow of the debate, maybe we do away with the break.
Yeah.
So honorable members who feel they can't do without break, you can go have your tea but come back and join us. But we want to go through this process seamlessly. The next debater will be the honorable member for Kafue.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to debate this very important report on the subject matter at hand. Madam Speaker, let me start by commending the committee for the job well done, with also the observations and submissions that they received, from the members of the public, where we note that, in fact, most of the people that submitted were in support of the bill. So what is pleasing is that the committee took note of where we need to do amendments so that we move together. So what that entails, Madam Speaker, is that generally there is consensus actually on what this bill is proposing. The issue of the process that is being highlighted by colleagues, I think is something, as far as I'm concerned, in fact, the process to consult had been done, opportunity was given, and I'm glad to hear, even from the person who just debated before me, that in his patriotism, he went to submit to the technical committee, and every Zambian was given an opportunity to do that. So today, I think it's important that we move this process forward, because we've been talking about these constitutional amendments for a long time. What is also comforting is that I think this time around, we settled for articles which we considered were non-contentious, articles where Zambians had already agreed in terms of where they wanted to see the changes. And what has turned out to be contentious among the non-contentious is being addressed, such as the issue of the way we replace members of parliament when a seat falls vacant. I think there it's encouraging to hear. Madam Speaker, while agreeing with
Order, honorable members, order. Honorable member for Matero, order. Order. Honorable member for Matero, I did guide that while the debate is going, if you have any point, unless it's seriously compelling, please do take note, and when you are given an opportunity to debate, you'll be able to debate. I had ordered that there will be no points of order. So, honorable member for Matero, you came in late, maybe you missed that guidance. No, let's let the debate flow. Let's allow the debate to flow. Order, honorable member for Matero. Let me allow the honorable member for Kafue to debate. Then I can consider that issue later. May the honorable member for Kafue continue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Indeed, he has disturbed my flow of debate. But I think the point that I would want to underscore again is the fact that we seem to be agreed. In fact, we are agreed on a number of these, and therefore it's important that we do not delay this process any further. There are a number of good reasons. In fact, a lot of the people, even those that seem to be opposed, are confirming that this bill actually has a lot of progressive provisions. So why must we then agree and legislate and come up with a constitution that will respond to the aspirations that Zambians have expressed in the previous constitutional amendment processes? So the reasons are varied as put by the chairman. But I just wanted, Madam Speaker, to highlight my support, to throw my weight around this issue of gender, women, and youth. Naturally, Madam Speaker, you appointed me ambassador for women's political leaders, so it's my duty to actually encourage all of us that where we are moving in this direction now is the right trajectory, Madam Speaker, which is giving us an opportunity, especially as women, where we've cried for 30 years since Beijing. This is the grand opportunity we have now to change the picture in the way women are going to be represented. The few of us that have had the chance, to be here, sometimes have been accused of forgetting about our colleagues and just, being comfortable because we are here. But here is an opportunity that we have and a duty to do, that we support this legislation that will bring in a lot more women. And so that Zambia, Madam Speaker, does not lag behind. I was looking at the statistics before I stood up to debate, Madam Speaker. Zambia, as we all know, we've been standing at 15% in terms of gender representation, being beaten by our neighboring countries, Zimbabwe here, for instance, which is already at 30%. South Africa, 37%. Of course, we all know about Rwanda, which is a global example of 63% women's representation. And then we have, and there are more countries also in Africa who have done these legislated quotas that actually helped to improve. So if we don't do this, Zambia will continue to carry the shame of being a nation that doesn't seem to respect, the status of women when it comes to representation. I also have examples from European countries, Madam Speaker, who are practicing PR systems. Finland, 46%. Sweden, another 46%. Spain, 44%. Norway, 45%. Denmark, 44%. Belgium, 43%. All these are moving towards 50%, Madam Speaker, where the women would want to be, along with the people living with disabilities. In Zambia here, according to our statistics census report of 2022, we have 15% of people living with disabilities in Zambia. 15% in our nation. And we cannot legislate to allow even just 1, 2, 3, or 4 of them to be in this house. What kind of injustice, would that be, Madam Speaker? The youths indeed constitute a majority of our populations today, and it was long overdue that they found their space in this house. Of course, we are talking about responsible youths, Madam Speaker, who will come here and represent the interests of their fellow youths, and not those youths who will come and be used, by adults to do things that will end up making them lose their seats, and then we should start arguing to say, look, why didn't we leave this? That will not be a passport for youths to do illegalities, but they will be here to do a job. In fact, to learn from the adults. I want to quote what one leader somewhere said out of this country, to say, these youths, in fact, more often, they would even forget their friends when they are given an opportunity. The idea is not that they come to take over, but the idea is that they come to learn from the adults, learn the job, and then do the right thing when now they are given full responsibility, so that we don't see, some of this, for lack of a better word now, which is not parliamentary, I was going to say, so that we don't see the mischief that some of the youths are associated with. I thought I should add the voice of the people of Kafue on this matter, Madam Speaker, who have given me a full mandate and a blessing today to come present them on this issue, especially one where they would want to see their constituency subdivided so that it can be better represented, unlike the current situation. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Kafue. Now, Honorable Member for Matero, I'm going to use my discretion to allow you to raise your point of order. I hope you are not derailing the process. But this is a democracy. What is your point of order, Honorable Member for Matero?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, my point of order is very, very compelling. Madam Speaker, all Constitution office bearers out there, they swear to defend and protect the Constitution of Zambia. Madam Speaker, I'm going to lay on the table evidence that will support my point of order.
Order, Honorable Member. Order, Honorable Member for Matero. Please go back to your seat. Please, Honorable Member for Matero, go back to your seat first. That is not how we lay documents on the table. It's not admitted, unfortunately. It's not admitted. Take it out. Yeah, give it back to him. That document, there are rules on how documents. Order, Honorable Member for Matero. Order, Honorable Members, can I have your attention? Honorable Members, there is a procedure in accordance with our standing orders on how documents can be laid on the table of the House. It's not to get a document from a pocket and lay down without having it verified. So, Honorable Member for Matero, that document is not admitted. And consequently, your point of order falls off. Can we make progress? Order, Honorable Members, let me give guidance. Honorable Member for Matero, please, can you take your seat, please? Can you take your seat, Honorable Member for Matero? Order. Honorable Members, today we have a huge responsibility. And I'm not going to chase anyone out of the House. No matter what. Those who want to go out on their own can do that on their own. I want to give an opportunity to the honorable members to debate this bill and to vote after that. So let's maintain order in the House and decorum so that we go through this process again seamlessly. So the way we are going to debate, because I've seen that there might be a possibility of people repeating. So, and we want to go through this process quickly. So I will observe and see how the debate is proceeding. But the next debater, as I try to balance the debate, will be the honorable member for Bwana Mkubwa.
Madam Speaker, from the onset, let me thank you most sincerely and also thank the people of Bwana Mkubwa for, Madam Speaker, giving me this very important opportunity to debate on the amendments of our Constitution. Madam Speaker, first and foremost, the Constitution is our covenant with the people of Zambia, and this is our highest law of the land. And in the amendments or formulation of the Constitution, Madam Speaker, it's important that we have as consensus and move together. Madam Speaker, first and foremost, like you've already mentioned, I'm an independent member of Parliament, and I'll quickly rush to amendments of Article 51, which directly looks at the independent member of Parliament. Madam Speaker, from the submitted amendments, from these objects of the Bill 7, Madam Speaker, I am here to debate that this amendment does not proceed. We leave it as it is in the Constitution to ensure that this proviso, which allows independent member of Parliament to, as and when they are either aggrieved by their political party, we have that proviso, and that's how we came to this House as independent members of Parliament. So, Madam Speaker, my take on this is to ensure that it remains the way it is as Article 51 in the Constitution. Madam Speaker, I'll proceed to the object on the amendment concerning the by-elections, especially for members belonging to a political party. Madam Speaker, we do take cognizance on the provisions and the amendments which have been suggested. But Madam Speaker, democracy is expensive. So it's important that, Madam Speaker, if we intend to mitigate a mischief, we cannot have a by-election for an independent member of parliament and not have a by-election for a member who belongs to a particular political party. In that vein, in which the amendments provided that a member who belongs to a political party, in an incident that that member dies, Madam Speaker, they are merely replaced by the aforesaid political party, Madam Speaker, which eludes the democratic right of the people of a particular constituency to pick a leader who they wish to represent them in Parliament, as it were. Madam Speaker, amendment of Article 47, for me, to change the electoral system to a mixed member proportional, to a mixed member electoral system, I do not have a lot of issues. But suffice to say that, Madam Speaker, it's very, very important that, Madam Speaker, even as we proceed with these amendments, but we need to consider people with disability, because if you look at the composition, we have, Madam Speaker, that women should be 20, the youths should be 15, and then the people with disabilities should be. Madam Speaker, where I come from in Bwanamkubwa constituency, we have a biggest center called Kangonga Production Center, where people with disabilities do learn various skills. And Madam Speaker, how then do we define which disabilities are these 5 persons coming from? So, Madam Speaker, this is a bit discriminatory. It's important that we balance numbers, Madam Speaker, even with people with disabilities, to ensure that they are well represented, as it were. That is on Article 47 too, Madam Speaker, in terms of the 40 members of Parliament holding seats under proportional representation. Madam Speaker, notwithstanding Clause 1, the number of nominated members of Parliament not to exceed 5% of the members of Parliament holding constituency-based seats. Madam Speaker, from what is proposed, if we are to increase, that entails 11.3, which is 11 members of Parliament who should be nominated by the President. Madam Speaker, my take on this one is that we should have a concrete number than the percentage, because it's a moving target, as it were. If we move to 226, Madam Speaker, entails 11.3. If we move to 230, the number changes. It's important that probably my submission, Madam Speaker, we have a fixed number. If it's 11, if it's 12, that is what we enshrine to ensure that we lock up this order, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me proceed to just highlight a few issues, Madam Speaker, to ensure that our voice as people of Madam Kubwa is heard. Madam Speaker, I'll proceed to Article 68, Madam Speaker, which now outlines that if we repeal clause and replaces Article 68, Madam Speaker, outlines that the National Assembly shall consist of 211 members of Parliament. Madam Speaker, these are issues of delimitation. Madam Speaker, delimitation is important. Our landmass of certain constituencies, such as Bwanamkubwa in Ndola district, to ensure that we have development to all corners of the constituency, it's important that we do delimitation. But suffice to say that, Madam Speaker, it was also very, very important that that delimitation report, if it has been provided by the Electoral Commission of Zambia, stakeholders sit and look at the aforesaid constituencies which are earmarked for delimitation. Then we can have a give and take, because, Madam Speaker, we cannot have everything, but we need to have a give and take, see what we are doing, see which constituencies, and equitable distribution of these constituencies, Madam Speaker, will help us, because by that, Madam Speaker, we will move in one direction as stakeholders to ensure that even those our brothers and sisters who have constituencies like Kasempa, constituencies like Nyimba, which are more or less a country, Madam Speaker, on its own, can ensure that development with the CDF can reach all corners, and the Zambian people can attest to that effect, Madam Speaker, to ensure that we all progress and move as one Zambia, one nation. Madam Speaker, I thought of bringing these pertinent issues concerning the aforesaid articles which I've mentioned, that if those, Madam Speaker, can be looked at and taken off, Madam Speaker, then we can progress and move together as a nation. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Bwana Mkubwa. Honorable members, we don't have to use the whole 8 minutes. If we can yield some time to others, maybe it will be better. So we go to the Honorable Member for Kalomo Central.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Before I can begin on my speech, Madam Speaker, I would like to make corrections. Within our order here, there are amendments to this bill that have already been done. One, the one for by-election has been amended to remain the way it is. This is a listening government. When people talk, it listens. And therefore, democracy, how it works, that for the previous member of parliament, it has been amended, if you check down there. Power to the people. Also, the amendment to do with nominations has also been amended. So we are now moving together.
Order, Honorable Member. Honorable members, the proposed amendments have been circulated. Maybe that's why the Honorable Member is talking about the amendment. So let's allow him to say what he wants to say.
Thank you very much. Yes, they have been circulated and I read them. Correct. Coming now to my speech, Speaker. Madam Speaker, comes a time when the country is above partisan politics, above tribal, above narrow inclinations, above selfish desires. That when a country calls you to represent it, you do what is best for the country. If you are selected to go out and represent the country, you do so in the best interest of the country. Madam Speaker, when we sit as a country, men and women, the youth, the disabled, we do great, Madam Speaker. In this country, the women are the majority. And yet, when it comes even to this house, there are very few, Madam Speaker. Only 15%. And somebody else is saying we should not guarantee spaces for women to at least increase the number from 15%. This is the cry of every Zambian. So therefore, I support this bill as well. Madam Speaker, again, if you look at the number of the youth, it's 65% in this country. And yet, where the cake is being shared, the youth are not there. And somebody says we should continue sidelining the youth. No, Madam Speaker. I think it's a high time now we need the youth. And this is why I'm saying today, this is the best bill since I was born, bill number 7. Because it's very inclusive, it's increasing the number of women, it's increasing the youth, it's increasing also the marginalized groups like the disabled. And this is why we are here today, Madam Speaker, to support Bill 7. Any well-meaning member of Parliament will surely support this bill. I will pick a few articles, Madam Speaker. First of all, I'll pick Article 47, which is talking of mixed member proportional representation. What does this mean? It means we shall have 20 women, 12 youth, 3 for disabled. These will only be selected after elections, according to how the party has gotten. If, for instance, UNIP gets 50%, then UNIP will get 50% from the 20. Then UNIP will get 50% from the 12. Then UNIP will get 50% from the 3. Where is this bad? Now, some people are saying this is going to increase or give an advantage to the government. How? What advantage when it will come after elections? Which advantage are you talking about? This is going to be done after the elections, according to the proportion or the share you have gotten. Correct. If you have gotten 2%, that's the share you get. And what's wrong with that? This is used in many democratic countries. We don't have only one type of democracy, Madam Speaker. There are many types. You can't say our democracy here is one democracy. No. If you go and Google, you will find more than 3 types of democracy. So proportional representation is being used by many progressive countries. Germany is using it, South Africa is using it, and many other countries. So it's a welcome move, Madam Speaker. Then I will also come, including even Namibia. Madam Speaker, I will also look at appointed members of parliament.
0 MP.
If you check from 156, 5% totals you to 80% if your mathematics is correct. To 8, the number. Now we are talking of 211 members of parliament that will have constituencies. If you calculate 5%, you get 10. We are only adding 2 members of parliament. But what has been circulating, even from doctors, learned people, in the debates outside, you would find they are talking of 45, that we are going to have 54 nominated members of parliament. Where are they getting that? And what is the reason of not telling the public the truth? Because any person, you are obliged morally to say the truth. The truth is that the president will only appoint 10 members of parliament. And from the 8, we are only adding 2. Where is this bad now? I would like to know. Where is this bad? And those who are saying 54, where are you getting it? And what is your motive? Madam Speaker, I will also pick one other article of 178 and 179, the Attorney General. What used to happen, Madam Speaker, is that the Attorney General would be, when Parliament was dissolved, would also be dissolved, plus the Solicitor General. And that is a time when plundering happened. Because if you are doing something huge in the government sectors, the Attorney General must approve. And if there's no Attorney General for 3 months, how do you run a country like that? And this is when most plunderers would plunder the economy. And here is a good government. It comes to say, let's save this money that was plundered so that we can buy desks, we can buy medicine schools. Some people are saying, no, this is a bad content. Where is it now? All we are saying is the Attorney General will continue working until another one is appointed. The Solicitor General will continue working until another one is appointed. What is wrong with that now? May I be told? And we should be talking about issues. That's why we are here. We are here to do what is good for the country. And this correction, this amendment is needed, Madam Speaker. I will also put now where they have been saying allegations that what is the difference between butane and Bu7? And that now these two are the same. I think I need to go back to butane had and Bu7 only 13 articles. I mean 117 articles butane and Bu7 only 13. We have scrapped 2, which comes to what? To 11. Now, are these the same? No. Secondly, in Bill 10, why we didn't accept it? There was one bill article that was very dangerous. That article allowed the president to nominate as many members of parliament as he wished. He could even appoint 400 members of parliament, and that would be approved. So if he did that, it means every day he would have, it means, if that was allowed, it means that every day the sitting president would change the constitution the way he wanted. We have now here adjusted the number of articles because we listen to everybody to get a 2/3 majority. That is what we didn't like about Bill 10. If that was not there, Bill 10 would have passed. This same government allowed in 2016 another bill which was brought by a different government, and it went through. So this is why we didn't like Bill 10. So to say that Bill 10 and Bill 7 are the same is not correct, Madam Speaker.
Thank you,
Madam
Honorable
Speaker,
Member.
may I
Your
conclude?
time is up. Your time
Thank you
is
very
up.
much.
We'll go to the Honorable Member for Chitambo. Honorable Member for Chitambo.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, today, this National Assembly is about to make history.
Yeah.
And this history, Madam Speaker, will be written in the book of Zambia, and our children to come in the future will be reading about it. Madam Speaker, there can be bad history and good history. What are we about to do today? The answer will lie in what we shall do at the end of all these debates. If we fail to pass this bill, it will be bad history. If we pass this bill, it will be good history. And Madam Speaker, I'll tell you this. Because in all, Madam Speaker.
Order.
Madam Speaker, in all the
Honorable members, let's listen to the debate.
In all the things that we do, there is always the bad and the good. And in any portion of everything, not everything will be okay, and not everything will be suiting to each one. That's why we've got different tastes and different environments. Madam Speaker, I have picked one article here, which according to me is not in good taste. And I'll lay it bare here so that we can talk about it and evaluate it, so that we can make either bad history or good history. Madam Speaker, it's about the mixed member proportion representation. Madam Speaker, this choice of wanting to amend the Constitution, to me, does not sit very well because it is not well explained on what happens there after an election. Madam Speaker, I've read the amendments. The amendments are saying members to be considered to Parliament will be appointed to this House by the ECZ using the presidential results or the presidential proportions. Now, Madam Speaker, if it shall be under the presidential proportion, what if we go for a rerun and those political parties that will not be allowed to participate in a rerun, what happens to their representation? It means that those political parties, Madam Speaker, shall not have the equal numbers according to the numbers that those who go for a rerun will have. There will be a very big difference. Madam Speaker, go to South Africa. Let's learn about it. In South Africa, it is based on the representation of members of Parliament who have been elected to that House, or the number of votes that has been amassed by a political party. And that is what I'm crying for as a member of Parliament. That let that proportional representation be given to political parties as they garner the votes. And Madam Speaker, to that effect, also look at another point that is mathematically debatable, because there shall be some political parties that will not amass a one vote, but they will have fractions. We should provide for that. Let us allow them also to merge as political parties and come up with a whole number one and bring a member of Parliament here. I think, Madam Speaker, if we do that, we shall be very fair to all political parties, to all members that shall be participating in elections. And Madam Speaker, further to that, I feel that this mixed member proportion is a very good idea. A very good idea. But Madam Speaker, people will come and laugh at us. And they will say, you are not reading. You are just passing things. Or you are not voting for things. What I want today when I go back home, I must go and sit and say, I read about this and I debated about it. I won't shy away, Madam Speaker, and stay away and say I've done it. No. By telling you this side that listen to me and change this one. I hope, Minister, you are listening, that we are not the first MPs and we are not the last MPs. This one is in bad taste. Please help me to change it. If you change it, I'll vote for it. Yeah. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I will go on to the ministers as debaters. Of course, the Minister of Justice will respond. So we go to the Minister of Information and Media.
Quality. Yeah.
Just wait, honorable members. They are coming in as debaters. You'll be called upon.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity, a rare opportunity, to debate a constitutional amendment bill. Today, I am not just a representative of the people of Choma Central. I'm a representative of the people of Zambia as a whole, particularly the women, the youth, and the differently abled, those that have been marginalized for the last 6 decades of Zambia's independence, yet they are the majority in terms of population. We cannot continue on this trajectory, Madam Speaker, where we go out there to sign protocols committing a nation to gender parity. When we come back home, here we are trying to talk about different things. Madam Speaker, allow me to respond to a few things. Firstly, this report of your committee has been well informed by the technical committee and the citizens at large. So those people who were concerned about wider consultations, that argument falls out. Number two, there are those who are saying what we are doing here is an illegality and after we leave we'll be arrested. Madam Speaker, Cap 12, parliamentary privileges and immunities, protect us here what we are doing. Not even the courts of law have jurisdiction over what we are doing here. So those who are saying what we are doing is illegal, the argument is destitute of merit at law, and therefore I urge them to vacate the same. These are not jokes. We have a country to lead. We have a country to hand over to the next generation. Today, all of us are called to duty. Duty to do what is right for this country. Madam Speaker, Article 76 of our Republican Constitution vests exclusive cognizance, that is to say, exclusive legislative jurisdiction and province to this House to make laws, nobody else. And democracy is run on the basis of those who are elected to make laws. That's all. Article 79, Madam Speaker, vests authority in this House to amend the Constitution. And in terms of Article 79(6), where there is a requirement for wider consultation, the Constitution is instructive that you are going to hold a national referendum and only 50% of eligible voters are required to say yes to that national question. So those who are talking about consultation, the law is clear. When you are amending the Bill of Rights, you have to consult 50%. The rest of the articles of the Constitution, Madam Speaker, can be amended in terms of Article 79 by this House. And I want to remind colleagues out there, those who have had the opportunity to know that, to study law, that do not mislead the nation. The Constitution is basically two parts. Those articles that are entrenched in the Constitution and enshrined, meaning they cannot be amended without a referendum. That is where you need wider consultation, per se. But we have the other parts of the Constitution that can be amended by this House. But practice has it that we must consult. And Bill number 7, Madam Speaker, is a product of wide consultations from 2019. That is why those articles that we agreed upon when we were in the opposition ourselves, they have found breath, Bill number 7, because they are non-contentious. Madam Speaker, let me indicate here, for purposes of emphasis, that from the times of Faweza, from the times of Women for Change, from the times of Women's Lobby Group, are now represented under the umbrella of NGOCC. Every year on 8th for Day. And these women movement groups have always been crying for one thing: more women participation, particularly in decision making. Successive governments have been shunning to open the door for women. Successive presidents have been going to grace those commemorations, but doing nothing about it. In the similar manner that the ATI was brought here, in the similar manner that a lot of laws have been brought to this house, such as the removal of the defamation of the president, you have a magnanimous president who is saying yes to women, who is saying yes to youth, who is saying yes to differently abled. Who are you to oppose the people's wishes? For the first time, Madam Speaker, the labor movement, for the first time, Madam Speaker, the student movement, and I was president of Unzasu, just like Emmanuel Tembo there. He knows that what I'm saying is right. The students, you were never. Keep quiet.
Order. Order, honorable members. Let's not debate ourselves. May the honorable minister continue.
Madam Speaker, the labor movement, the student movement, the federation of the differently abled came to make a passionate appeal to your members in the select committee that this particular bill must pass. This is a forward-looking bill. This is a people's bill. It is not like Bill 10. We opposed Bill 10, Madam Speaker, because Bill 10 wanted to amend Article 189 to remove retired civil servants off the payroll before government pays them their terminal benefit. Madam Speaker, Bill 10 sought to amend Article 169(4) to have chiefs to vote for the chairperson of the House of Chiefs and make them political and divide the nation. Madam Speaker, Bill number 10 sought to amend Article 63(2) to remove this House's authority to ratify contracts and loans that government contracts on behalf of the people of Zambia. Madam Speaker, Bill number 10 sought to amend Article 149 to give carte blanche powers to the President to delineate provinces for this country. We said no. They wanted to amend Article 101 to provide for coalition government. We said it's unstable. They wanted to amend Article 123(6) to abolish industrial relations court. We said this is a specialized court which must dispose of people's grievances, the civil servants, the workers. They wanted to amend Article 252 to remove the security of tenure of the Auditor General. We said no. They wanted to amend Article 262 to introduce a legally disqualified person so that President HH would have not been president today. Let's stop cheating people. They wanted to amend Article 107 on incapacity, that even if someone becomes senile or non-compos mentis at law, that should remain in office. What drama is that, Madam Speaker?
The Honorable Minister, your time is up.
Let me conclude, Madam Speaker, that they wanted to amend Article 103 to include that a president-elect can be disqualified to recontest in a proceeding second round election. Who does that? Isn't
Thank
that,
you.
isn't
Thank
that
you.
recipe for anarchy in a country?
Thank you. Let's make progress. Thank you, Honorable Minister. The
Madam
Honorable-
Speaker, I conclude they wanted to reintroduce deputy ministers whom the people of Zambia have time and again rejected. Madam Speaker, I thank you and also take note that this fact, no one has opposed this
Thank
bill.
you.
We are
Thank
united.
you.
Thank you, Madam
Thank
Speaker.
you. Thank you. Thank you. The Honorable Member Fonkana.
Madam Speaker, today we are about to make a decision that will alter our constitutional democracy forever. One of the declarations we made when we came to Parliament was when we stood right beside you and we swore to defend and protect the Constitution, a solemn duty bestowed on every member of Parliament. Madam Speaker, the fundamental principles of amending any constitution is consensus building. Madam Speaker, we have not been here, this is not the first time. This country has amended the constitution several times. All those times, the fundamental issue has been on agreeing the process, number one, then secondly, agreeing on the contents. Citing the last attempt that was made by this August House through what was called Bill 10, that started with a meeting of political parties in Siavonga, which political parties agreed on a process. And that process needed to be protected by a law. They came to this August House and enacted a law that protected that process. Then came the issue of the contents, around which issues there was disagreement generally. That is why Bill 10 failed. So it must be stated that it is important for consensus to agree on the process. Madam Speaker, when the UPND initiated this process, they sat down and agreed on clauses to be amended in our constitution. You know, Madam Speaker, they committed an illegality. It has been stated by the Constitutional Court that the process that gave rise to B7 was unconstitutional. It saddens me, Madam Speaker, that some lawyers who have never even won a case would argue against constitutional judgment. Constitutional judgment, Madam Speaker, according to Article 1 and 128 of the Constitution, binds every state organs, including this Parliament. Whatever we are about to do, Madam Speaker, posterity stands to judge us. We are about to legitimize an illegality, as is stated by the Constitutional Court. Madam Speaker, let us refresh our memories.
Order, order, order. Order, honorable members. Order, honorable member Fonkana. Please, no points of order, please, I had guided. Honorable member Fonkana, make sure that when you are debating, you are factual and interpret the judgment of the Constitutional Court in accordance to what was pleaded and what the holding of the court was. Do not read into the judgment things that were not before the court.
Madam Speaker, let us refresh our memories. When the Bill 7 was brought to this August House, it was deferred. Why was it deferred? Because of what came from the Constitutional Court. Madam Speaker,
Order, honorable members, order, let's not make assumptions. Honorable member, just debate your issues or based on facts. Please debate according to facts which are verifiable. Don't make assumptions or conclusions. May the honorable member Fonkana continue.
the sad part with facts is that it hits you. Madam Speaker, the President constitutes a technical committee. What otherwise would have been the originating of what we're doing today? The technical committee went round collecting submissions from the people. We all do know The report of the committee, the technical committee, Madam Speaker, ends at making a submission to the President. After the submission of the technical committee to the President, their job ends. They become a functus official, meaning that their job and the authority to hold office ends. It is procedurally improper and constitutionally illegal for a technical committee to submit to a parliamentary select committee. That is law.
Order,
And this me who did a diploma in law, I can tell you that is illegal.
Order, 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 Honorable Member Fonkan. Order, as I guided honorable members, I know it's nice to be a lawyer, but if you don't possess those qualifications, don't try to interpret the law. I thought what we are discussing is the report of the select committee and the amendments. Honorable member, address yourselves to the proposed amendments, whether you support or you don't support. Don't lecture. Honorable Member Fonkana, order. Let's not lecture on things that we are not familiar with, because we'll end up misleading the House and in the process the nation. May the Honorable Member Fonkana continue as guided.
Madam Speaker, I swore to speak the truth whether it hurts people or not. Madam Speaker, I want to stand on the side of history, which side will dictate that we did what was right. Here in this August House, Madam Speaker, we are about to rape the Constitution.
Order,
we are about to commit illegalities.
Order. Order, Honorable Member Fonkana. The words that you are using, they are unparliamentary. Order. I thought you were saying members who have never, lawyers who have never won a case are now arguing matters. I thought it was, you are not qualified as a lawyer to make such comments. So, Honorable Member, address yourself, remain relevant. Remain relevant. Address your mind to the amendments, proposed amendments to the report of the committee. Then you'll be on the safe route. May you continue.
The movers of Bill 7 have, with deception, moved or wanted to entice people, suggesting they are trying to include the marginalized. Madam Speaker, the current law does not exclude women and youth from being here. We are the youth, this one here. He came here because there was a political will in the party that he belonged to. The inclusion of the marginalized is not about changing bills or amending the Constitution. The current Constitution does provide. That is why me, under the movement of the Chawaite, we are sponsoring a youth in Chawama. Madam Speaker, whether you amend the law today or you don't amend the law, it still comes back to political will. If indeed the movers of this constitutional amendment had sought to include those marginalized groups, we could have seen them demonstrate in the various appointments they've done so far. There's a cabinet. How many youths are in that cabinet? The appointment to the Foreign Service, save their relatives. How many other Zambian youths have they appointed?
Order, order. Honorable Member Fonkana. Order, Honorable Member Fonkana. Order, Honorable Member Fonkana. Let's not make allegations that we cannot prove. That employment of relatives, you have no facts to present before this Honorable House to prove what you are saying. Don't make allegations which you cannot prove. Please stick to the report. You'll be safe. May you continue.
Madam Speaker, it is completely deceptive to suggest that you want to delimitate constituencies when you are scared in unveiling which constituency you want to delimitate. It's completely deceptive. I know the UPND are known to be deceptive, but it is, you cannot go to that extent.
Order, order, order.
You can't.
Order, Honorable Member for Funkana, order. The use of the word deception, please can you withdraw? Find a better word to use. Can you withdraw the word deception? It's unparliamentary.
Madam Speaker, if it permits, it's permissible, misleading. It's completely misleading to suggest I withdraw deception, I replace with misleading. These people on your right, Madam Speaker, are misleading the nation, purporting to want to delimitate constituencies which they have not unveiled. At this stage, when we are enacting a law, why would we want to hide the constituencies we want to delimitate? Why would we want to disenfranchise people by enacting a clause that stops people from going to participate in election as independents? Misleading. Madam Speaker, for that I would stand and defend and protect the constitution of the land, and I stand by that declaration even today. I will never be part of illegalities. That is why, Madam Speaker, after this submission, I will go home because I don't want to be part of the commission of crimes. We are committing illegalities in this house, and posterity will judge us, and I hope it will judge us very fairly. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. Order, honorable members. The rules of the House, the standing orders require us to listen to the other side. So, Honorable Member Fonkana, you made your statement, you debated, the honorable members were listening to you. So if you choose to go outside and listen on the radio, it's also okay. But it is preferred that you sit in and hear the other side, because that is your opinion, but there is also another side. The Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation.
Madam Speaker, I thank you for giving me this opportunity to add my voice to the debate on the floor of the House. Let me begin, Madam Speaker, by mentioning something very important. The last member that debated spoke about the oath that we have all sworn to protect and defend the Constitution and the people of Zambia. Yeah. I would like to place it on record that as I debate this very important matter, the first time I swore that oath was 24 years ago, Madam Speaker, when I was first called to the bar, before being made State Counsel. Therefore, whatever I say on the floor of this House, whatever we have said previously and as a member of the executive, it comes from that primary duty of protecting the people and the Constitution of Zambia. Yeah. This bill does not in any way detract from that oath. Let the people of Zambia not be misled and misrepresented here. The fact of the matter is that this bill, first and foremost, is lawful. Yeah. Lawful before this House, whose duty it is to legislate. Yeah. Legislation takes place on the floor of this House and nowhere else. Yeah. Madam Speaker, we have had commentators that have spoken and tried to influence the people of Zambia to the effect that this bill is not properly before the House. Those commentators have had the rank and dignity to be able to properly speak to the people of Zambia, but have not done so. I will not name names because they are not here to defend themselves. But suffice to say, the debate has been wide. And there have been attempts, Madam Speaker, to mislead the people of Zambia by quoting provisions of the Constitutional Court judgment which do not exist. Yeah. Let us not fall victim to those that do not have the interest of the people of Zambia at heart. Let the honorable members of parliament in this house today not be swayed by a false moral argument to the effect that the bill is illegal. There is no modicum of truth whatsoever in that suggestion. Therefore, we can vote with a free conscience in support of this very progressive bill with the amendments that have been suggested by the Honorable Minister of Justice. Madam Speaker, the process that we are undertaking did not begin with the current Bill 7. Immediately the New Dawn administration came into office, the first step that was done was to consult widely. What do we do with this constitution of ours? Beginning as long ago as 2021, we have been consulting. The outcome is now, but we have undertaken this process from the word go, which shows the good faith with which the New Dawn administration has always acted. Madam Speaker, we have, in doing so, protected our dear democracy. Not anywhere before have you seen a situation where the executive says, we want to take this direction, and the judiciary is called upon to pronounce itself on the direction that the executive says they want to take, and the judiciary says, no, take the other direction, and the executive listens. Madam Speaker, what better process can we undertake than that, where the separation of powers is seen in action through the will of the people themselves who went to court without any hindrance. And the court ordered and said, you are expected to undertake a wide consultation process. What did the executive do? The executive responded by appointing a technical committee, and there is precedence of the manner in which that was done. A technical committee was appointed pursuant to constitutional provisions, Article 92 in particular, which the late President Michael Sata used a similar provision in the form of Article 4 to appoint a technical committee. So the people of Zambia should not be misled. Did the technical committee undertake what the court asked it to do? The answer is yes. The court specifically asked the technical committee to go and undertake a process which would involve the nation as a whole, at a minimum at provincial and district level. Was that done, Madam Speaker? It was done. Therefore, the legitimacy that we are talking about in terms of this process carrying along the people was undertaken. And the people submitted en masse, 12,000 almost submissions. Where is that process today? It came before this August House through the Select Committee. What better democracy in action do we want than that? Madam Speaker, if those that are opposed to the bill look closely at the amendments that have been proposed, they will see that this Honorable Minister of Justice has said, let's incorporate what the technical committee said we must do. Meaning they've incorporated, the Ministry of Justice have incorporated the reasoning, the desire of the people of Zambia. Where is the process faulted in that regard? Nowhere. All those that we have debated and some that have spoken on the floor of this house have speculated about what the intention might be in terms of delimitation. No proof whatsoever that this is what is going to transpire. We cannot use emotions of that kind when making a national decision of this nature. Madam Speaker, the Constitution itself protects the process of delimitation and puts in place criteria that are to be followed in deciding what is to happen with constituencies in redrawing their lines. Those criteria are objective. The Constitution speaks about the matters to do with population of a particular constituency, the geographical size of that constituency, in deciding how, take a deep breath and learn, Honorable Member, from those that are qualified to speak. Madam Speaker, that process is protected by the Constitution. So where is the mischief that we are worried about as we pass Bill 7? The fact of the matter is that the constituencies in certain instances do not meet the best interests of the people of Zambia. We want to ensure through this process that those that are in those large constituencies are able to benefit ultimately from our progressive programs such as CDF. Madam Speaker, just to speak specifically to one item which goes close to my heart. There are proposed amendments to Article 153 dealing with proportional representation even at council level. Madam Speaker, I have a daughter who is 16 years old and she aspires to be a political player, to shape the future of our country. Now, Madam Speaker, she is allowed under our constitution at the age 19 to be able to stand as a councillor. By the amendments that we are making, I am sure that my daughter will be given a chance which she would not otherwise have had if she could only approach the process through the usual election mode. That is to say, direct election. We are giving our children an opportunity to be part of their own future. Therefore, I urge you, honorable members seated here on my left, on your left, Madam Speaker, and on your right, let us do the right thing. Let's put away our selfish political interests and vote in favor of this bill. Madam Speaker, it is progressive. It shows the future of Zambia. And certainly those of us who took an oath to protect the Constitution will walk with our heads high when this bill succeeds, because we would have done the right thing for the people of Zambia. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. So looking at where the flow of the debate, I'll call one more member from my left, one more member from my right, and then the minister will wind up. So the next one on the indicated is the honorable member from Pika.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity to add the voice of the people of Mpika to this very important discussion. Madam Speaker, as I stand with a very free mind and a free conscience because I was not quarantined.
That's right.
Madam Speaker, this discussion
That's right.
is a very important discussion. From here, we are shaping the future of our country, either bad or good. Madam Speaker, we are discussing the constitution of our republic. And the constitution is a document of the people of Zambia. The government is a creature of the constitution. And the creature of the constitution, Madam Speaker, cannot create a constitution. It is very wrong. It's like, Madam Speaker, it's like an employee changing the conditions of his or her contract. The Bill 7, Madam Speaker, was created by the executive arm of the government. And the Constitutional Court of our republic declared that process null and void. It's a nullity, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I heard from my colleague, the Honorable Member of Parliament for Mafinga, assuring those of us from here who vote for Bill 7 that they will not be expelled. Well, he's right in his own wisdom. But the decision to expel a member of Parliament from Parliament lies and resides with the people.
That's right.
All of us who are here, Madam Speaker, are not here in our personal capacity. No. We are here as representatives of the people.
That's right.
Where I'm coming from, the people have spoken.
Yeah.
The people of Mpika have spoken. The chiefs have called me. They've given their position. And as I stand, I'm going to state exactly what they want to hear. Madam Speaker, the process of making a constitution is as good as the content.
That's right.
When the process is flawed, Madam Speaker, even the content itself will be flawed.
That's right.
And this is where we are today.
That's right.
Madam Speaker, we have had the Constitution, rather, Madam Speaker, has two parts. What we are discussing is just a part that is to politicians.
Yeah.
If any one of us in here love the Zambian people, why are we not discussing a part where we need to give our people economic and social rights.
That's right.
Madam Speaker, we are discussing this part because it's a part that will give politicians more positions. And even the argument that youths will come to parliament, women will come to parliament, yes, only those who are politically exposed will come to parliament even when they pass this constitution. Madam Speaker, the powers to create the constitution resides totally with the Zambian people.
That's right.
And for the constitution process to start, the people have to be consulted. When Bill 7 was initiated...
Order, Honorable Member. No points of order. Honorable Member, please concentrate on the report and the proposed amendments. You will make more impact than just speaking on issues that are not covered in the report. You may proceed as guided.
Madam Speaker, I thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I was saying, when Bill 7 was introduced to this House, the People's House, they tabulated the articles that were going to be amended. And later, the bill was deferred. After deferring that bill, a so-called technical committee was constituted. The expectation of the Zambian people were that after the constitution of the technical committee, this bill which was before the House was going to be withdrawn so that the views that the technical committee would collect could come and form a new bill. That has not happened. Madam Speaker, here we are discussing
order, Honorable Member, let me guide. Honorable Member, don't make your assumptions. There is nowhere where it's written that a technical committee can only come up with the report or the new draft and what have you. The procedures are very clear, so let's stick to what is factual, Honorable Member. Let's not mislead the members of the public. May the Honorable Member for Mpika continue.
Madam Speaker, when I came here in 2021, courtesy of the people of Mpika, I saw to defend, protect, and preserve the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia. In the case of Bill 7, the Zambian people have loudly spoken. They have taken a position loud and clear, Madam Speaker. And any one of us that does not hear from their position is going against the wishes of the people. In this case, Madam Speaker, I want to put it on record that I cannot be part of a group of people that have decided with impunity to do an illegality and to commit contempt of court. Madam Speaker, I say I will not be part of that. No. And on behalf of the people of Mpika, I commit and advise those colleagues that think that they can commit contempt of court with impunity. Posterity will judge you harshly. Right. This constitutional amendment that is taking place here is an illegality. That's right. And you cannot have a
Honorable Member from Mpika. The comments that you have mentioned about contempt of court, please can you withdraw those? Because you were guided, the House was guided in my ruling on the point of order that was raised by the Honorable Minister for Home Affairs. So please do not comment on matters that you are not.
Madam Speaker, I have been taken to court for contempt of court.
So please withdraw that statement about contempt of court.
I withdraw, Madam Speaker, and still said, and to those who have allowed yourselves to be used against the wishes of the Zambian people, posterity will judge you harshly. Posterity will judge you harshly. This constitutional amendment taking place today is an illegality of the worst kind. Where on earth you will have people not respecting institutions?
Order. Please, honorable members. Honorable Member from Mpika. Debate according to the facts. Don't make allegations that you cannot substantiate. Please, just restrict yourself to the report and debate. Because at the rate we are going, I will not be able to give opportunity to the other members because we want to close this issue. So stick to the report, please. Honorable Member from Pickup, continue.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I was stating the fact that the process used to draft Bill 7 was nullified by the Constitutional Court. There are no two ways about it. The process was nullified by the Constitutional Court. That is my position.
Order. Honorable Member from Pika, you've been guided, but you are repeating the same thing. Otherwise, we move to the next debater because we... Can you wind up?
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. And like I was saying, Madam Speaker, I'm here to represent the people. And when the people state their position on something, it's that position that I will take because I'm here to represent them. The church has spoken. The stakeholders have spoken. The church has spoken. The church has spoken. Stakeholders have spoken.
Order.
And that's the position.
Order. Honorable Member from Pika, order. Please, Honorable Member from Pika, you've been guided. Please don't bring the name of the church into your debate. Honorable Member from Pika, please do not bring the name of the church into your debate. Not the church, and you are even showing the rosary. It's not the Catholic Church. Rather, it's some individuals. So please, don't bring the name of the church in your debate. Debate as a representative of the people of Mpika. May you wind up.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As I conclude, I stand here strongly object to the defilement of the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia. Madam Speaker, I want to appeal to everyone, even those who have been paid, that please follow what your conscience is saying. Don't support this defilement of the Constitution. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Order. Before you sit down, Honorable Member, can you withdraw the word defilement? And the payment. Can you withdraw the word defilement and apologize for using such a word? Withdraw and apologize. We are losing time.
Madam Speaker, I withdraw the word defilement and replace it with those who want to mutilate the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia. I do not support it, and I stand against that.
Apologize, Honorable Member.
Madam Speaker, I thank you.
I have not heard the apology.
Next.
I have not heard the apology.
Madam Speaker, I apologize and still say they shouldn't mutilate the Constitution, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, first and foremost, I stand on behalf of the people of Zambia to support the beautiful Bill 7. Madam Speaker, it has been said that we did not follow the process, and that because process protects content, those who are against what we are proposing, the few will not support the bill, the Bill 7. Madam Speaker, I've been in this House for a very short period of almost 24 years. And I participated in various constitutional processes.
For avoidance of doubt, Madam Speaker, I would like to state that during the reign of the late President Mwanawasa, we had a National Constitution Conference, that NCC, and that was the process that we undertook to amend the Constitution. That process, Madam Speaker, failed. And that process was not supported by the same people, by the same organizations who are against what we are doing today. We later had the National Dialogue Forum to discuss issues of the Constitution. Madam Speaker, the same organizations and individuals did not support the process. We came to Bill 10. The same individuals, now with ourselves, did not support the process. It therefore entails that there has never been a time when there is consensus over issues of constitutional making in this country. There has never been. It has also been said, Madam Speaker, that this particular Bill 7 is protecting the presidency of President Hakainde. Madam Speaker, what I want to state that the proposed amendments to the Constitution had nothing to do with benefits that were accrued to President. None at all. And I'll demonstrate later if I have enough time. The amendments have been structured in a way to support the interests of the people of Zambia. That is how it has been structured. These amendments have to anchor themselves on the political, social, and economic aspirations of the people of Zambia. Nothing to do with the presidency of the Republic. It has been said, Madam Speaker, that the people of Zambia should be the one driving the process of constitutional making process. The Constitution of Zambia, Madam Speaker, is very instructive. There are only 3 ways of amending a constitution in this country. 1, through a member of parliament moving a motion to amend the constitution. 2, through a petition by a member of the public to parliament to amend the constitution. The 3rd and last is through the President of the Republic of Zambia to initiate the process. Those are the only ways you can amend the Constitution. There is no other way. There is no other way. For avoidance of doubt, I would like to quote Article 64, 1. A member of parliament or minister may introduce a bill in the National Assembly. That is 1. 2, Article 88, a citizen may petition the National Assembly. 3, the president through Article 92. There is no other process. Madam Speaker, this is a listening government. And we have listened to the people of Zambia through the technical committee and through the submissions to the select committee. And because we're a listening government and we take into account the views of the people, we have incorporated the views of the people of Zambia. We have incorporated also the views of members of parliament. I've heard the issues that were raised by the honorable member of Kavisa, the honorable member of parliament for Bwana Mukubwa, and those concerns, including the member of parliament for Muchinga. All those concerns have been addressed. Chitambo, All those concerns, colleagues, have been addressed. The issue pertaining to by-elections have been removed. The concerns pertaining to nominations have been removed. Is there any other issue? No. There is only one issue which we have to do and deal with now, is to vote and ensure that the people of Zambia get a good amendment to the constitution. But we will tell the people of Zambia that we are aware of members of parliament who are against delimitation. We will tell the people, and we know them. We will also tell the people of Zambia that there are members of parliament in this house who do not support women to come to the house. We will tell the youth that there are members of parliament who do not want youth to be part of the constitution, not constitution, be part of parliament. We shall tell the people, and we know them. Even the one who says he leads the Chabaich doesn't want the youth to be leaders in this country. Don't be misled, youth, by those who claim to be leaders of the youth, but they don't want you to be in parliament. Don't follow them. We are happy, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we are very happy that today the House is united. PF, UPND, and independents are going to vote for Bill 7 for the benefit of the country, for the benefit of the women movement who have been agitating for the positive discrimination in their favor, for the youth.
Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I would like to urge all of us here to support Bill 7 and ensure that there is representation of marginalized groups in this country. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Justice to wind up debate, and honorable members, as the minister winds up debate, please can we take our appropriate seats where you were assigned? May the Honorable Minister wind up debate.
Madam Speaker, history is being made. And I'm glad that on the day that history is being made, you are seated as the first female Speaker of the National Assembly. And I'm glad that me, who is standing in also as a representation of the marginalized women for decades, I'm your Minister of Justice. How much more can we ask from this able leadership under His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia, Hakainde Hichilema, whose vice is the only second vice president. So, honorable colleagues, you are standing on the right side of history, and this is the day. So, Madam Speaker, without further ado, allow me, therefore, to thank your Parliamentary Select Committee and your staff for the job well done in receiving the different submissions from the people of Zambia. Madam Speaker, the Constitution Amendment number 7 of 2025 is not merely... Madam Speaker, maybe we can have some silence.
Order, honorable members, order. Let's listen to the winding up debate.
Silence, please, honorable colleagues. The Constitution Amendment number 7 of 2025 is not merely a legal document. It is a covenant with the Zambian people. It is about inclusion, fairness, representation, and the strengthening of our democracy, so that every Zambian can see themselves in the governance of this great nation, the Republic of Zambia. Madam Speaker, this bill seeks to amend the Constitution of Zambia, number 1 of the laws of Zambia, to respond to the real and practical concerns raised by the Zambian people over many years, if not decades. It addresses the gaps, ambiguities, and indeed operational challenges that have made some provisions difficult to implement. Our objective, therefore, is singular and clear: to make our constitution work for the betterment of the Zambian people and indeed for the many generations to come. Madam Speaker, and indeed to the public and to the House, this bill is grounded in a lot of national consultation, as already alluded to by my colleagues. It is also informed by various constitutional, including the Vunga Constitutional Review Commission of 1995, the Mungomba Constitutional Review Commission of 2005, and the Electoral Reform Technical Committee report of 2025, as well as best international practices. Your government has also carefully considered conversations, observations, and recommendations of the Select Committee of the Honorable House, of this Honorable House. Further, the recommendations of the Technical Committee that was appointed by President Hakainde Hichilema on the 2nd of October 2025 to consult the people and drafting the amendment of the Constitution have been considered. This is what a listening government does. Madam Speaker, to this House and indeed to the public, allow me therefore to highlight some of the critical key proposals contained in this bill, as previously outlined to this House in my ministerial statement that I delivered on the 26th of March this very year, 2025. Firstly, on the constituency and ward delimitation, the bill seeks to amend the Constitution to actualize the delimitation of constituencies and wards by the Electoral Commission of Zambia every 10 years. We do not want to abrogate the law. This is a direct answer to the cries of the Zambian people who feel underrepresented due to the population shift and growing communities. Fair representation is the bedrock of democracy, and the amendment seeks to deliver just that. Now, your able government, based on the cries of the people, seeks to increase the constituency-based seats. Honorable colleagues and the Republic of Zambia, this is where your ears have to be picked up. Therefore, the constituency-based seats will increase once this bill is passed from 156 to 226, in line with the Mshavati Technical Committee report of 2025, to enable equitable distribution of resources and equitable resources. So those that were saying that the Technical Committee report was thrown, once again, have been proved to be wrong. Madam Speaker, secondly, with regard to the filing in of fresh nominations, the bill seeks to provide clarity to the filing in of fresh nomination on resignation of a candidate for elections. The current provision of the Constitution under Article 52 provide for a nomination process that may create a never-ending process of nomination, as it does not exclude, after filing in of the nomination papers, to force an extension to the date set of an election. And this we have all witnessed. The current provision, therefore, Madam Speaker, of the Constitution do not separate the circumstances when the filing of fresh nomination may be necessary. It does not differentiate between a candidate who resigns and a candidate who dies after. Therefore, the amendment seeks to provide clarity on this very important matter. Thirdly, to you, Madam Speaker, my fellow colleagues in the House and the nation at large, and most important, the bill seeks to make sure that there is inclusion, as we have seen in the House, to introduce a mixed member proportional representation electoral system which will provide for the election of members of parliament holding constituency-based seats, which we are aware about, through first past the post electoral system, and the already spoken about the seats for women, youth, and persons living with disability through the proportional representation electoral system. Therefore, let's take time, honorable colleagues, through Madam Speaker. Look at your neighbor. Does this represent the population of this nation in terms of gender? No. The answer is no. Does this represent the youth of this nation? No. The answer is no. No. So when we look around this, see the young people, we do not see the able people. They are not in this house. And this is a failure to represent the demography of our nation. Even in the region we are least as a country. That is why this must change now. This has been the cry of the Zambian people, as my fellow colleagues have already debated, including the advocate of policy, Honorable Chonya there, who raised this issue tremendously. It has been the cry of the Zambian people and overwhelmingly recommended in previous constitutional reviews. For too long, these groups have remained on the margin of the national decision-making, despite the constituting the majority of our population. Therefore, the reforms are a bold statement by Zambians and indeed the democracy that we belong to, not just for the few. Here we are. We are here to ensure that the woman in Kasama is also having a share to the cake.
Sorry, Honorable Minister, I think honorable members are anxious. They want to vote. Please, can you wind up debate?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yes, but I don't want to leave other issues. I get your guidance, Madam Speaker. As for the women, the number now will be 20 women in the House. And for the youth, the number will be 15. And for the people with disability, the number will be 5. These are the differences that you all wanted. As it concerns to the independent, I really need
Sorry, Honorable Minister, please wind up.
Okay.
Honorable members, can we go back to our seats, assigned seats? Otherwise, you will not be able to vote.
No,
Honorable Minister, please wind up debate.
Okay, okay. I thank you, Madam Speaker. And I thank you, Madam Speaker, and it is for this reason, Madam Speaker, I now urge this very important House to ensure that they actually support this bill wholeheartedly. Madam Speaker, I submit.
Order, honorable members, order. Honorable members, before I put the question, I wish to guide the House that, considering that this is a bill to amend the Constitution, Article 79(2) of the Constitution provides that a bill to amend the Constitution shall not be passed unless the bill is supported at second reading and third reading stages by the votes of not less than 2/3 of the members or the members of the Assembly. In this regard, when I put the question, the House will proceed to vote. Now, I put the question. The question is, order. Order, honorable members, you'll be given an opportunity to go to your seats. Let's just go through this process. Order. I now put the question. The question is that the bill be now read a second time. Close the bars, clear the lobbies, lock the doors, and ring the bell.
Good morning, you are tuned in, good afternoon rather, you are tuned in to Parliament Television. The House is considering the Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025 at second reading stage, and members of Parliament are going to vote electronically either for the bill or against the bill. Earlier on we did see the Minister of Justice read the objects of the bill, and the chairperson of the Parliamentary Select Committee appointed to scrutinize the Constitution of Zambia National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025, Mr. Imanga Omunima, also did give a report regarding the Select Committee sittings, and we did see quite a number of members of Parliament actually debate this particular bill which has been considered at a second reading stage.
So just now we look at the objects of this bill, the Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025. The first one is revise the composition of the National Assembly to provide for the increase in the number of constituency-based seats from 156 to 211 to actualize the delimitation report by the Electoral Commission, and also to revise the electoral system for election to the National Assembly to provide for a mixed member proportional representation electoral system to guarantee the representation of women, youths and persons with disabilities.
The other objects of this particular bill is to revise the provision relating to filing of fresh nominations on resignation of a candidate, revise the provisions relating to by-elections, revise the number of nominated members of Parliament, harmonize the term of Parliament and Council to achieve a 5-year term.
And also to provide for a vacancy in the office of a minister and provincial minister 90 days before a general election, remove the 2-term limit for office of mayor and council chairperson, and also to revise the composition of the council to include members of Parliament holding constituency-based seats.
The other objects of the bill are to revise the qualifications for appointment to the office of the Secretary to the Cabinet, provide for the Attorney General and Solicitor General to continue in office after a general election until new office bearers are appointed, revise the definition of the words child and adult.
If there are members who are outside, the 5 minutes is not yet over. The members outside who want to come in, please come in. After 5 minutes, no one will come in. It's 2 minutes now and 24 seconds left.
The objects of the bill also include to provide for clarity on the period within which an election petition shall be concluded, and also provide for matters connected with or incidental to the foregoing. So those are the objects of the Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025.
Absolutely. So in a few minutes from now, in less than 2 minutes, we'll see whether this bill is going to pass the second reading stage, as the members of Parliament are getting ready to vote electronically. They're voting for the Constitution of Zambia Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025, which has been considered at second reading stage. Some members of Parliament are for the bill, others are against the bill. And so in a short while from now, we will get to know whether this bill will pass the second reading stage.
And of course, we did have various stakeholders that made their submissions to the Parliamentary Select Committee, which was appointed to scrutinize the Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025, and we'll look at some of them. We had the Chief Parliamentary Council Minister of Justice, the Judiciary of Zambia, Electoral Commission of Zambia, and also Zambia Law Development Commission also made their submission to the Parliamentary Select Committee. We did have Human Rights Commission, and we had Action Institute for Policy Analysis. We also had Zambia Institute for Policy Analysis and Research, ZIPA.
Other stakeholders that appeared before the Select Committee were the Consortium of Civil Society Organizations for Good Governance and Constitutionalism, Measures of Justice and Democracy Foundation. We had a technical committee appointed to consult the people on constitutional amendments. We also had the Zambia Conference for Catholic Bishops. GEAR's initiative also did make an appearance before the Select Committee, and the New Congress Party, among others.
We also had Media Institute of Southern Africa, Zambia chapter, also made their submissions to the Parliamentary Select Committee. We also had the Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection, JCTR, and also we also had
Honorable members. Sorry, I'm not. The House will vote electronically only using the Bosch media use. Please log in the system. Have we all successfully logged in? Order. Have we all successfully logged in? Yes. When you hear the paging sound, the vote has opened and the voting screen is displayed on your microphone unit. Select the present key on top of the right side of the screen. Please cast your vote. Select one of the options: yes, no, or abstain. Once you have selected, order. Once you have selected one option, you'll see the words "vote has been cast" on the right side of the screen. When you hear the second paging sound, the vote will close after 1 minute. You have just voted. The result as follows, order, honorable members. Abstain, 0. No. Yes, 131. Order. Honorable members, the 2/3 requirement has been satisfied. Let the bill be read a second time.
The Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025.
Order, honorable members. Committee stage to be taken when?
Now, Madam Speaker.
Committee stage to be taken now. Of course, there will be a break for lunch. The announcements will be made. Oh, okay. Okay, then I take leave of the House.
Order, honorable members. Can we get settled? Order. The Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025. Clause 1. Any debate and objection. Clause 1 is agreed to. Clause 2. Amendment of Article 47. Any debate and objection? The question is that Clause 2 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Justice.
Ngayo, Madam Speaker, Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that Clause 2 be amended with the words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 2 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 2 as amended. Any further debate? I see none. I put the question. The question is that Clause 2 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 2 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. The question, Clause 2 as amended, any further debate? Mr. Fuve to move his amendment. Thank you. We make progress. We move to the next clause. Clause 3, amendment of Article 51. Any debate and objection? The question is that Clause 3 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Justice.
Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that Clause 3 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 3 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 3 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that Clause 3 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 3 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 4, amendment of Article 52. Any debate and objection? The question is that Clause 4 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Justice.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that Clause 4 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 4 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 4 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that Clause 4 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 4 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Mr. Fube is gone. We move on to Clause 5, repeal and replacement of Article 57. Any debate and objection? The question is that Clause 5 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Justice.
Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that Clause 5 be amended with the words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 5 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 5 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that clause 5, as amended, stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 5, as amended, is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 6. Clause 7. Repeal and replacement of Article 68. It's not that one. Yes. Clause 7. Repeal and replacement of Article 68. Any debate and objection? The question is that Clause 7 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Justice.
Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that Clause 7 be amended with the words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 7 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 7 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that Clause 7 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 7 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 8, amendment of Article 71. Any debate and objection? The question is that Clause 8 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Justice.
Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that Clause 8 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 8 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment agreed to. Clause 8 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that Clause 8 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. They say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 8 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. We move to Clause 9. Amendment of Article 72. Any debate and objection? The question is that Clause 9 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Justice.
Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that Clause 9 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 9 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 9 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that Clause 9 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 9 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 10, amendment of Article 73. Any debate and objection? Clause 10 is agreed to. Clause 11, repeal and replacement of Article 81. Any debate and objection? The question is that Clause 11 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Justice.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the amendments for Clause 11 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 11 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 11 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that Clause 11 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 11, as amended, is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 12, amendment of Article 103. Any debate and objection, Clause 12 is agreed to. Clause 13, amendment of Article 116. Any debate and objection, Clause 13 is agreed to. Clause 14, amendment of Article 117. Any debate and objection, Clause 14 is agreed to. Clause 15, amendment of Article 149. Any debate and objection, Clause 15 is agreed to. Clause 16, amendment of Article 153. Any debate and objection? The question is that Clause 16 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Justice.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that Clause 16 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 16 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 16 as amended. Any further debate? No, he's coming later. He's coming later. I put the question. The question is that Clause 16 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 16 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. No, his turn is coming. Clause 16 as amended. Any further debate? Mr. Christopher Kangombe to move his amendment.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I was going to be worried that I won't have time to move the amendment. Yes, Madam Speaker, I submitted 5 amendments, and one of the 5 amendments that I submitted, obviously, is Clause 3, which has since been deleted, relating to independent members of Parliament. And now we are looking at Clause 16. Clause 16, Madam Speaker, and I want to refer the people that are gathered here today that on page 13 of the report of the committee, sentence number 2 reads, stakeholders submitted that the proposed amendment compromised the fundamental principle of separation of powers and decentralization. My amendment, Madam Speaker, is what I referred to in my earlier debate, that currently, Madam Speaker, we have local authorities that are 116 in Zambia, and because we have 116 local authorities, we also have 156 members of parliament. The principle, Madam Speaker, of holding one entity accountable is that you can't be part of the same platform, which at the same time you have to be held accountable for the work that you are doing. And the principle is that if a local authority has got members of parliament who are sitting in that particular chamber, Madam Speaker, the principle is that who then performs the duty of holding accountable the local authority. And I think I did raise this issue when I was earlier debating, that we did have this scenario prior to 2016. The old practice, Madam Speaker, was that members of parliament in a district were part of councils, but there was one major problem. And one major problem, Madam Speaker, was the issue of who provides oversight. And that is how come, as part of the 2016 amendments, it was suggested that as opposed to councillors also interacting with members of parliament in the chamber, it would be important that one entity is at a different layer. And that is how the 2016 amendment came about, to introduce the exclusion of members of parliament in the chamber. My submission, Madam Speaker, under Clause 16, is that we do not need to amend Article 153 of the Republican Constitution, because Article 153 is very clear. The role of the member of parliament is defined, the role of the councillors is defined. When councils are making decisions, there is no need for the members of parliament to go and sit in the chamber. when we have to undertake our responsibility, Madam Speaker, in terms of holding councils accountable. I am a member of a committee, Madam Speaker, a committee of parliament called Local Governance and Traditional Affairs. One of the things we do, Madam Speaker, is to summon local authorities. So why should we allow the entity that we are holding accountable for us to be part of the same entity again? And that is why, for me, Madam Speaker, my submission is that Clause 16 of Bill 7 should not include this particular provision, which demands that members of parliament be part of the entity. I even went to the extent, Madam Speaker, of suggesting...
Mr. Kangombe, you were just supposed to move the amendments, which you have already been circulated. So the members, they have those amendments. They know what you want to amend. So you were simply supposed to move the amendment. Are you done?
In the past, you've allowed us to debate amendments. But that's a fact.
We make progress, no need to vote. Are you done? The question is that Clause 16, as further amended, stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Justice to respond.
Madam Speaker, I hear the concerns of the Member of Parliament, but those have already been taken care of, and with that, we do maintain the amendments. I submit.
Thank you. Honorable members, I'll put the question on the amendment by Mr. Kangombe. I put the question. The question is that Clause 16...
Sorry, Madam Speaker, just to be clear that we are not taking on the amendments of Honorable Kangombe, but maintaining as the amendments has been raised by the executive. It's a no to the amendment of Honorable Kangombe, even though we have heard his concerns. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Justice, your amendment has already been taken over. It was cleared. So now we are doing the amendment for Mr. Christopher Kangombe. It's up to the House whether to take it or not to take it. So that is why I'm putting a question. If the members don't take it, then it will fall away. So I put the question for the amendment by Mr. Kangombe. I put the question. The question is that Clause 16, as further amended, stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Or the contrary say no. No. The noes have it. The question is negative. Amendment falls away. We make progress. Clause 17, repeal and replacement of Article 154. Any debate, any objection? The question is that Clause 17 stands part of the bill. Oh. Mr. Kangombe to move his amendment.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that Clause 17 be amended with words as circulated.
Thank you. The question is that Clause 17 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate and objection? Amendment is agreed to. Clause 17 as amended. Any further debate? We haven't finished. I haven't put the question. Honorable members, it's just the language that we follow. When I put the question, that is the conclusion of that amendment. So I ask the question now. So I'm going to ask the question in regard to the amendment by Mr. Christopher Kangombe. Oh, yes, I put the question. The question is that Clause 17, as amended, stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The noes have it. The question is negative. Therefore, amendment falls away. We now move to clause 18. Repeal and replacement of Article 158. Any debate, any objection? The question is that clause 18 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Justice.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that clause 18 be amended with the words as circulated.
Thank you. Though we are in the committee of the whole House.
Madam Chair.
Thank you. The question is that clause 18 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate, any objection, amendment is agreed to. Clause 18 as amended. Any further debate? I put the question. The question is that clause 18 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 18 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 19, amendment of Article 159. Any debate, any objection, Clause 19 is agreed to. Clause 20, amendment of Article 176. Any debate, any objection? The question is that Clause 20 stands part of the bill. Mr. Christopher Kangombe to move his amendment.
Madam Speaker, I thought I'll be allowed to debate these amendments. I beg to move that Clause 20 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 20 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate, any objection? Amendment is agreed to. Do you want to debate there? Clause 20 as amended. Any further debate? I now put the question on the amendment by Mr. Christopher Kangombe. I put the question. The question is that Clause 20 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. No. The noes have it. The question is negative and the amendment falls away. We move to, that was 20. Clause 21. He's not there. The member has walked out. Clause 22, amendment of Article 179. Mr. Fove again. The member has walked out of the room. Clause 23, amendment of Article 266. Any debate, any objection? The question is that Clause 23 stands part of the bill. The Honorable Minister of Justice.
Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that Clause 23 be amended with words as circulated.
The question is that Clause 23 be amended with words as circulated. Any debate, any objection? Clause 23 as amended. Any further debate? I see none. I put the question. The question is that Clause 23 as amended stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. Clause 23 as amended is ordered to stand part of the bill. We move to general amendment. The Honorable Minister of Justice.
Madam Chairperson, I beg to move that bill be amended on page 4 to 12 with words as circulated.
The question is that the bill be amended on pages 4 to 12 with words as circulated. Any debate, any objection, amendment is agreed to. The bill as amended on pages 4 to 12, any other debate? I see none. I put the question. The question is that the bill as amended on pages 4 to 12 stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. The bill as amended on pages 4 to 12 is ordered to stand part of the bill. No, please, Mr. Kangombe. Mr. Kangombe to move his amendment.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill be amended on pages 10 to 12 with words as circulated.
The question is that the bill be amended on pages 10 to 12 with words as circulated. Any debate? Any objection? Do you want to debate? Amendment is agreed to. The bill as amended on pages 10 to 12, any further debate? I now put the question on the amendment made by Mr. Christopher Kangombe. I put the question. The question is that the bill as amended on pages 10 to 12 stands part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Of the contrary say no. The noes have it. The question is negative and the amendment falls away. We now move to long title. Any debate and objection? Long title is agreed to. The bill will be reported to the House as having passed through the committee with amendments. Madam, I have to report to the House that the Committee of the Whole House has gone through the Constitution of Zambia, Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025 with amendments.
So, honorable members, the idea is for us to conclude the business. We're almost there. Then we can go for lunch. Please tighten your belts. So, therefore, consideration of report.
Now, Madam Speaker.
Consideration of the report to be taken now. The Honorable Minister of Justice.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the report of the committee be adopted.
As no notice has been received of any further amendments, is it your will that the report of the committee be adopted? Any objection? I see none. Report adopted. Day for third reading.
Now read.
Order, honorable members. Honorable members, I wish to remind the House that as earlier announced, this is a bill to amend the Constitution and as such requires to be supported by not less than 2/3 of the votes of all the members of the Assembly, in accordance with Article 79(2) of the Constitution. In this regard, the House will proceed to vote. I put the question. The question is that the bill be now read the third time. The House will vote electronically only using the Bosch multimedia units. Please ring the bell. Ring the bells.
Good afternoon. You are tuned in to Parliament Television. Under consideration is the Constitution of Zambia Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025. It has passed the second reading stage. It has equally passed the committee stage, and it was also read. It's going to be read actually the third time.
And so we expect members of Parliament to vote electronically. And just now we look at the objects of the Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025. This bill seeks to revise the composition of the National Assembly to provide for the increase in the number of constituency-based seats from 156 to 211 to actualize the delimitation report by the Electoral Commission, and also to revise the electoral system for election to the National Assembly to provide for a mixed member proportional representation electoral system to guarantee the representation of women, youths and persons with disabilities.
The bill also seeks to revise the provision relating to filing of fresh nominations on resignation of the candidate, revise the provisions relating to by-elections, revise the number of nominated members of Parliament, harmonize the term of Parliament and Council to achieve a 5-year term.
And also to provide for a vacancy in the office of Minister and Provincial Minister 90 days before a general election, remove the 2-term limit for office of Mayor and Council Chairperson, revise the composition of the Council to include members of Parliament holding constituency-based seats.
The bill also seeks to revise the qualifications for appointment to the office of the Secretary to the Cabinet, provide for the Attorney General and Solicitor General to continue in office after a general election until new office bearers are appointed, revise the definition of words child and adult.
And also to provide for clarity on the period within which an election petition shall be concluded, and to provide for matters connected with or incidental to the foregoing.
And so a select committee was appointed to scrutinize the Constitution of Zambia, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025, and has been since last week receiving submissions from various stakeholders, and today the bill was being considered at a second reading stage, meaning members of Parliament had to debate the bill step by step, and it actually did pass this particular stage, which is the second reading stage.
So just now we look at the composition of the Parliamentary Select Committee. This committee did include Mr. Imanga Wamnyima, who was the chairperson, and he is Nalolo Member of Parliament. We also had the vice chairperson of the committee, who is Ms. Jacqueline Sabao, and she is Chikankata Member of Parliament. We also had Mwandi Member of Parliament, Ms. Siveso Sefulo, and Mazabuka Member of Parliament, Mr. Gary Jill Hombo. We also had Mr. Newton Samakai, who is Mwinelunga Member of Parliament. We also had Mr. Brian Kambita, Zambezi East Member of Parliament, Mr. Movita Anakoka, Luena Member of Parliament.
Other members that were part of the select committee include Mr. Stanley Kakubo, MP for Kaprimposhi, Mr. Debson Mungandu, Chama South Member of Parliament, Mr. Simon Banda, Katauke Central MP, Ms. Simonile Mwamba, Kasama, Member of Parliament, Mr. Jonathan Daka, Chadiza MP, Mr. George Kandafula, Serenji MP, Mr. Mishek Nyambose, Chasefu, Member of Parliament, and Mr. Emmanuel Banda of Muchinga. So these are the members that were part of the select committee that was constituted to scrutinize the Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill number 7 of 2025, which is currently under consideration. In case you've just tuned in, live visuals on your screen as members of Parliament will be voting one more time. They did vote at the time that the bill was being considered at second reading stage. I must mention that the bill did pass the second reading stage. It typically passed the committee stage and then the fourth stage, and now it's being considered the third time. So in a few seconds from now, members of Parliament will be voting for this particular bill as it has been considered the third time.
Order, honorable members. At least I see a woman moving in. Close the bar, clear the lobbies, and lock the doors. The House will vote electronically only using the Bosch multimedia units. Please log in to the system. Have we all successfully managed to log in? Honorable Member for Malole, have you managed to log in? You need assistance maybe. You have managed? Thank you. When you hear the paging sound, the vote has opened and the voting screen is displayed on your microphone unit. Select the present key. On top of the right side of the screen, you'll see words, please cast your vote. Select one of the options, yes, no, or abstain. Once you have selected one of the options, you will see the words, vote has been cast on the right side of the screen. Once you hear the selected one option, you will see the words, vote has been cast on the right side of the screen. When you hear the second paging sound, the vote will close after 1 minute. You have just voted. The results are as follows. Order. Order, honorable members, order. You have just voted and the results are as follows. Abstain, 0. No, 0. Yes, 135. Honorable members, the 2/3 required has been satisfied. Let the bill be read the third time.
The Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025.
Order, honorable members. Maybe before we proceed, there are announcements relating to lunch. I don't know whether you go for lunch, but whatever it is, please do eat something. So lunch break will be followed soon after we adjourn. The House will not come back. We would have concluded our business. Honorable members will have their lunch in the restaurant here at Parliament Buildings. Members of staff and ministry officials will lunch at the Members Motel. Transport to and from the Members Motel for staff and ministry officials will be available at the entrance to the library building, and lunch for you, honorable members, ministry staff and ministry officials and staff here, our staff at National Assembly, will be provided by the courtesy of none other than yours truly. I urge all honorable members to be well. There is no need for I wish you a Merry Christmas. Her Honor, the Vice President, adjournment. Order, order, honorable members, let's follow proceedings.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the House now adjourns.
Thank you. The question is that the House now adjourns. Any debate? Any objection? The question is agreed to. The House? Order, honorable members. The House is now adjourned. Cindy.
Good afternoon. That note brings us to the end of the live parliamentary proceedings for today, Monday, 15th December. Of course, the House has adjourned Cindy. And just about now, we'll have a recap of what has been considered on the floor of the House.
When business commenced at 09 hours, Madam Speaker did make an announcement. Madam Speaker informed the House that the National Assembly of Zambia has received a donation of 10,000 pine tree seedlings from the Zambia Forestry and Forest Industries Corporation, ZAFICO. The donation is in support of the Promoting a Green Parliament program. Madam Speaker requested honorable members to collect 50 tree seedlings each on Tuesday, 16th December 2025 from the Eastern Car Park Parliament grounds to plant in their constituencies.
The House then considered was actually supposed to consider two questions for no answer understanding order number 82. That's question 128, which was supposed to come from Mkushi lawmaker Mr. Chibuelat, because at the time that this question came up for consideration, he was not in the House. So question 127 came from Mr. Mutale of Chitambo. He did ask the Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development whether the government is aware of the damaged section of the Great North Road between Serenje and Lavushimanda districts. In response, the Minister did say that he is aware, and in the other part of the question, Mr. Mutale wanted to find out what urgent measures the government is taking to prevent loss of life and property caused by road accidents on the section of the road. And the Minister did say that with support from the World Bank, the government will rehabilitate the damaged section of the Great North Road.
The House then went on to consider the closed circuit television protection bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2025, which came at third reading. It was read the third time and it has passed.
The other bill that was considered at second reading stage was the company's Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 25 of 2025. It was read the second time, it was committee stage, it equally passed report stage, and it was read the third time.
The House also considered the Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 39 of 2025 at second reading. It was read the second time. passed through committee without amendments, and bill was read the third time, and it has passed.
And the last bill that was considered today was the Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025, which was being considered at second reading stage. The bill was read the second time. It passed the second reading stage. It equally passed the committee stage, passed the report stage, and was read the third time. And that's the business that was considered on the floor of the House as the House has adjourned till the Until next time, we'd like to thank you for your time. Bye-bye.